And with the letting Steve send Shelley. All right, Mike.
Okay.
Meanwhile, there's soup and bread and stuff.
Out of our 2 firefighters tonight, who wants to go first? Cal Fire or Tulare County
I
Fire?
think C comes before T, to be honest.
Cal Fire, Brian Wallace.
Tell me where you want it.
Right here. So before today, we got a bio and a pic, and we're able to spread it around, at least on Facebook. So some of you know something about this guy. Others know him very well. And he's going to tell us what he wants to tell us today. It's your turn.
Oh,
In the spotlight.
okay. I originally started in the Wood Lake area, and I ended up working up here. I believe when they first originated this whole program, we did this at the White Horse Inn, and there definitely was a big crowd just like this. I do appreciate everything. I don't consider myself a hero. I really consider the people that are in the military. My hat's off to those folks. But I definitely appreciate the support from each and every one of you. And also our comrades over there, Tulare County Fire, we couldn't do it without you guys either. Great working relationship between both of us. To me, I think that's very valuable, especially in Three Rivers. You guys have a really good program going on up here, and you guys are very lucky to have both these agencies that do a very good job, and we do appreciate the support. So thank you.
Tell us some stories.
I'm glad you went first.
I don't know that if I have any stories. Most of my stories involve the fire service. Locally, a lot of little fires here. I know that we had a fire over by Mr. McKee's place down the road off of Old Three Rivers Drive, I believe. And I just remember everybody kind of going separate ways, and hoses were breaking left and right, and everybody's one person on the end of the nozzle, and next thing I know, I just grabbed what was in the middle and started squirting water with a broken hose. So that's the only story I really got.
Well, you've done an awful lot, it seems to me, in a very short amount of time, and now you're in Sanger, Fresno, or?
I am at the Clovis office. I am doing what they call civil cost recovery. And what we do is when there's fires and people expend money, especially taxpayer, we try to get a lot of that money back. We don't see any of it. It goes to the general fund to at least help reimburse the taxpayers. So that's kind of what we do. But we're a little further detached now. But I believe I still consider this home, if that makes sense. I've been here, I don't know how many years. Most of my friends and family are from here, so I really enjoy it.
Well, we couldn't live up here without you guys. You make all the difference, whether we're safe or not, and we can relax knowing you're here. Go ahead, Diana.
So how many days was the fire up in the park that you were working on?
Actually, the gentleman over right behind you, Chief Turner, would be able to tell you more on that. I had a very small portion of that.
We'll get you when it's your turn.
I think we were up here about 60 days, but I want to say something real quick for Chief Wallace because he's very modest.
You all should know that he's been awarded the Governor's Medal of Valor. And it's the highest award that anybody in state service can be given. And very few people get it. He's going to be presented it on Monday, or it should be. And I'll tell you, I'm not going to tell you the story of why he's getting it, but I'll tell you what it's for. It's for an extraordinary act of heroism by a state employee, extending far above and beyond the normal call of duty of service, performed at great risk to his or her own life in an effort to save other human life. And I can tell you that he is well deserving of this reward. So, in addition to his recognition tonight, that is something that he's got coming to him, and he's earned it.
What was that about?
Well, I appreciate it. I really can at this point, just because it's in litigation. If it wasn't for that, I would be I would love to share that, but that was a life-changing experience, and it happened or started here in Three Rivers, and I'm just glad that we were able to get it out of Three Rivers, if that makes sense.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Just out of curiosity,
Yes.
I noticed that you're a firefighter, yet you're evidently a peace officer. So what's your position now?
I am I'm on the law enforcement side,
Yes.
but I also deal with the fire side. We start out as firemen, and then at a certain point in our career, normally engineers or captains, then you're kind of pick and choose. You know, they get to pick and choose who they get as far as employees to go into that, because not just everybody. There's probably maybe 1 or 2% of our department that really gets to go into that. To me, it was an honor to get into that, to be able to go through that. And then when I went in, there's 32 post academies, which is peace officer standard training. There's 32 of them in the state, and CAL FIRE has one of them. And my hat's off to the department, because they are top notch with the rest of the departments. LA County, LA City, most of those folks come up and see the facility that we have in Sacramento. A lot of dedication, but definitely interesting. So I still, people laugh when I show up, because I'll come out with the law enforcement portion, but they see the badge and the truck and they're like, I'm a little confused. So I tell them I get the best of both worlds. You know, everybody wants to be a fireman or a cop, and for me, I get to do both of them. So I thoroughly enjoy it.
That's great. Were you involved the last few years when we had fires in the forest and the park, and Three Rivers was worried about, coming through town?
I originally, myself and another gentleman, because I had transferred out of the area at that time, but the last stint that I had, that when we had the fires up here, we helped with evacuations. When all of it started, us and Tulare County sheriffs, along with Tulare County Fire, we assisted in the evacuations. Not too much on the suppression side of it, but we made sure that once people were out of the area, there wasn't people from down below coming up and causing havoc, especially when your houses are unsecured, if that makes sense,
Yes.
in a vulnerable state. So we definitely sent people through. We patrolled the area, and that was, for me, that was our portion of it. But CAL FIRE and Tulare County, like I said, hand in hand, along with Park Service and Forest Service, they definitely. If you could only imagine what goes on behind the scenes between all the agencies, it is very impressive. They can.
And exhausting, I'm sure.
It
was just nonstop. It was unbelievable.
What we do here in California, most places are very envious of what we do, and that's the entire world. It's not. So California is kind of at the front, the leading edge of this, if that makes sense.
Anybody have any more questions?
Okay, let me know if you have questions. Or if I need to move.
Okay, so we're gonna take it easy on you, not too many questions. This is a certificate from the supervisors of appreciation of your outstanding work as a firefighter. And Glenn and Susan McIntyre from the Gateway, they're giving our honorees a gift certificate to come enjoy.
You did not have to do that.
And there's one more thing, hang on.
There's always a piece of art that one of our artists creates every year for this. And this was Linda Dumont.
You can see it's a beautiful stone here. Let's see. And it's got your name and the plaque. Can you see, guys see it? Isn't it gorgeous?
I've before.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
And that's the logo for Heroes Month. It's a firefighter, a cop, and a Marine, just symbolizing the three branches that we know is so important for our city.
I definitely appreciate that. You did not have to do that. A simple thank you was more than enough.
No.
Thank you.
Okay.
Ready to switch now?
You are released.
You get to ask questions. We're done.
I'm hiding right here.
There you are. You're ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Whoa. Hi, my name is Matt Jackson, and I'm a lieutenant with Tulare County Fire. I work at Lemon Cove, which is right down the hill. So I have the pleasure of coming up to Three Rivers and assisting up here and responding to calls in the area. Myself, I've been in the area for roughly 2 years now. I have the joy of having some of my family that live right down the road from the station, so it's really been beneficial for me on those Easter days or Christmas days when we can meet up and do some awesome things while I'm on shift. So it's definitely been a benefit. I do love the area. I started out of Goshen as a volunteer with Tulare County Fire, and then or an extra help, and then I actually went across the pond over to the other side to Cal Fire for a little bit, working out of Wood Lake, and then out of Porterville as well. So this was kind of my start, kind of where I began. I decided to leave that department and come back to Tulare County as an engineer, and then I promoted from there. Started out in Alpaugh, and then made my way to Lemon Cove. So it's been a journey. It's been an adventure, and I couldn't do it without my wife, Kristen, and my kids. We're 3 girls. Kristen's a 2nd grade teacher out at Dinuba Unified, and then obviously the girls, they're all in succession there. You can see they're pretty close in age. I went for a boy 3 times. I got 3 beautiful girls, so I'm blessed, that's for sure. And then on pretty much right here is all of my family. And without them and my wife, none of this would be possible, especially while I'm not here. So not around, and the slack gets picked up, so it's definitely awesome. But it's really the people behind the scenes are the ones who take care of business, and that's the command staff. Basically facilitate everything that we do, boots on the ground, and then obviously the board of supervisors, so Supervisor Valero, and then also Chief Norman, who really make things possible. And I think that their work in this area is pretty much been very beneficial, not only for the department, but for the community as well. So look forward to that. But I think the main thing is the community itself. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. And we want to help you as much as we can, especially in light of what we've been talking about, KMP complex and recent fires, and then recently with the flooding as well. So we've all had our hands in a little bit of that. So thank you for helping us while we help you and making things easier. So yeah, that's pretty much me.
Tell us a story.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, what year do you want the story? We can go back to, I would say, the KMP, where I spent probably about 23 days going up and down Mineral King. So I can drive that road pretty much with my eyes closed at this point, unless it's changed as of recently with the flooding. I spent quite a bit of time at Heartland Christian Camp in my youth, and then also in my fire career as well. So we spent probably about 20 days preparing, or 15 days preparing for something to come, and we actually were able to implement quite a few things that diverted the fire from that area. So definitely a good thing, a good experience, let's put it that way. A horrible thing to happen, but a good experience, and definitely teaching points for a lot of people. So when you're coordinating bucket drops and dropping helicopters overhead, and while followers are cutting trees, it's definitely a good thing. So that's pretty much what I have.
What was valuable too is when you guys would communicate with us and tell us, what was happening. That board that you put out in front of like the village market.
Sure.
I can't remember which entity did it, but that was really helpful. And just the regular updates on the internet, by email, letting us know what was happening. That was so important because we had no idea. We see the helicopters and we see the smoke and we're like, what's happening? So that's very, very important, communicating with us.
That's the coordination between the command staff on all different sides. So definitely good as far as communication. And once it hits you guys, it hits us too. Because trust me, you guys are telling us some stuff that we might not even know. Just because, the way that things work out. So.
Or we can tell you what we see and you can
100%.
explain what that is.
Most definitely, yeah.
Right. Okay, there's a certificate from the supervisors and there's your gift certificate.
Well, thank
from
you
the
so
Gateway.
much. I appreciate
Glenn
that.
and Susan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I've got one more thing. Not your piece of Okay, everybody's is a little different.
Oh boy.
So it's heavy. Be careful. It's a beautiful stone.
Wow, thank you.
With your name.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you. Appreciate it. Am I getting let off the hook? That's awesome.
I don't know. Chief, do you have something to say?
Great.
Of course, Chief has something to say.
Thank you. We appreciate this every year. This is a great, such a great gig. The thing that Matt won't say is, he did work tirelessly for 23 days, but it's every day. It's all these incidents. It's going out of county. And I can see probably at the station having 3 young girls at home, it's probably much quieter at work.
Yeah.
We had 3 under the age of 5 in the 90s, and I just don't remember sleeping from 93 till probably 2001. And Matt also, we expect a lot out of our personnel. Matt does such a tremendous job of mentoring our younger folks. And I know he's still young, but just passing along the institutional knowledge. He's a consummate professional. As you can see, he's a handsome young man. He's what represents the good things about Tulare County Fire Department. I appreciate his work so much. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Supervisor Valero, would you like to say a few words, please?
Oh, yes.
It's great to be here and honoring these 2 fine gentlemen. I just want to say you're not only lifesavers, but you're life changers. And commitment to your community and also your connection to the people is what's very important. And so again, just thanking you for taking time out of your family life to save and help others that you do not know sometimes. And so being able to make that huge impact on others means so much to the county of Tulare. So thank you so much.
Well, we like to keep it short and sweet. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. Don't forget, next month, last Friday of the month, is for law enforcement. Last Friday of March is for armed forces. Thank you again. Please help yourself to refreshments. And congratulations, everyone. Thank you.